This is Hartford Whaler Nation.
Winding up, doesn't shoot it. Galapski might give it to him again, then the shot. Score! They get the goal. It was deflected in front of Reese, and he couldn't recover. And the game is tied.
I think Andrew Castles may have deflected that puck, and he's paying the price for it now and getting very slow up from the ice. Right here is the shot, and boom, it catches Castles right below the left eye. This goal is one that he'll remember. And if the outcome is not in the Whalers' favor, I'm sure he would much rather give it back. Reese can't see the puck. Watch it hit Castles on the left side of his face as Sanderson unloads it. Right there off the deflection. That's a real cool shot. Nonetheless, this hockey game is tied, and this is how it happened.
Verbeek. Sanderson. Pronger shoots. 10th, they score! It went off Castles and hit him in the face. He's down. But incredibly, he should get credit for this goal. And Bud Govea hustles out after Verbeek tipped it. It hit Castles in the face and went into the net. It's 2-1 with 5:16 to go in the third.
We'll take another look at it. Wow, that was, and very fortunate, Rick, that it went off his shoulder first. Look at Pat Verbeek with the arm up, but no one knows at the time that Castles is down. Here it is from ice level. Wow, and right into the net. I don't see it from a third. Look, Pronger with a good low shot. You'll see Verbeek deflect it.
Yeah, and the assists, they gave Sanderson the assist along with Pronger.
Welcome to Hartford Whaler Nation TV. Great footage from Andrew Castles getting hit not once but twice.
Yeah,
and he scored goals on both of them.
Yeah,
it's a hard way to get a couple points in the NHL.
It really is. Unfortunately, he probably will be the all-time leader of goals scored with your face in Hartford Whaler franchise history. Yeah, you could kind of see they were in Calgary for the first game where he took it off the face off a deflection.
Yeah.
And you know, on the second one they were home against Pittsburgh.
And you see Samuelson.
You see Alf Samuelson
in goal.
Yeah. And even though I think in Calgary, I think the goalie was Jeff Reese.
It was,
and he was, you know, became a Whaler as well. But yeah, unfortunately for Castles, you know, it was great. The funniest part about it was each time the goal was scored, Verbeek didn't care. He just put his stick up in the air.
And then he went to find out what
then
happened.
He went to go find out what happened. But
you know, it's great. We bring this in because, you know, Andrew Castles visited Hartford not too long ago with the Connecticut Lottery to push along the Hartford Whaler scratch ticket.
Yeah.
And it's great because you were there.
Yeah, it was.
You get 150 people there at
I would
lunchtime?
say there was, it was close to 150, 200 people. It was the middle of the day. It was on a Wednesday, right at noon. It was a great thing by City Steam.
Yep.
You know, they put on some free hors d'oeuvres and beer if you wanted to have that was there. And then the Connecticut Lottery handed out T-shirts, and they had cards. And one of the guys on the ice, Jeff Sanderson, he was there, and he signed them all. And and I remember asking him, I said, well, what was one thing you remember about the Whalers in your time here? And you know, it didn't take him 2 seconds to say, I always think, what if? And he was mentioning, like, I mean, what if we beat Montreal or we beat Boston in the early 90s?
And you saw Sanderson in the clip with Castles
he's on that league.
With Verbeek.
Yeah, it was there was a Sanderson-Verbeek Castle line. So.
And I didn't catch who lit up both of those slap shots.
No, it was from a wicked shots from
both
the
of them
point.
were wicked slap shots.
Yeah, I saw Adam Burt trying to help out Castle. This looked like the second one was a little bit more painful than the first. But,
well, that came off with a stick out in front. So
the
other one was off whoever's.
Right, it was a little bit slower, but.
Every
time I see that, I think hockey players are absolutely insane.
They are.
How you cannot wear a cage
You know, that was in 1994.
Yeah.
And you look at, and we bring this up because, you know, 1994, we think it was so long ago. And it was, you know, it's over 10 years ago. We're now approaching the 17-year mark. We have Faniversary coming up April 13th.
That's right. That'll be at the
Arch Street Tavern.
Yeah, that's where that's being held.
Yep. And we encourage everyone to come down and show your Whaler support, wear your Whaler green, and share in what was a really sad day in Hartford history, and really with the city of Hartford losing a major league sports franchise that we might get back with the perspective.
Yeah, there's been a lot of coverage in the Current lately about, they almost did a thing where they did like a funeral for a friend.
Yes, that was today.
Then they also had a piece in there about how, boy, look at the dismal things with the Patriots deal. With they haven't been able to hold on any of their lower level basketball leagues. We had an arena football team here for a very short period of time.
Coyotes. You had the Hartford
New England
Hellions.
Blizzard was the women's league where we had Jen Rosati and Kara Walters playing. So yeah, it was a little piece about the history of Hartford and how it's had trouble holding on to a team. And then we had the St. Patrick's Parade on Saturday. In which, we had a large group of Whalers, about a few dozen Whaler fans showed up, having a sign said, "If you build it, they will come."
Oh, it's great.
We always warm up in front of the Capitol. It was a little chilly, but it warmed up as the day went on.
It did.
We had, like I said, we had about 30 or 35 so people that were there, and then the parade, I assume, was usually they're in the tens of thousands.
40,000.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
And a lot of them, I'm sure that a lot of them stayed home because of the threat of rain. Whether it was 40,000 this year, 65,000 last year, boisterous when the Whalers people came out.
Yeah.
They had their jerseys on. John Lammers from Fox 61, or I'm sorry, Lammers, I forgot his first name. He's the reporter, sports reporter. Had his Whalers jersey on. Rich Coppola.
Was there.
Had the vintage Whalers sweatshirt on.
Yeah, he got. It was great because we were taking pictures of the group we had so that we could put them on our Twitter account. And over comes Rich Coppola, and he says, I'll jump in there. So he grabs the banner, and as he's doing that, Senator Richard Blumenthal comes by, and we asked him to jump in, and next thing you know, he's holding the other end of the sign. Then we got a state senator and a sports anchor from Fox, and we got them involved.
Yes.
Jerry used some of his influence to help us get some other shots of some high.
And you'll see him throughout the show. Our producer John has done a great job lining up some pictures from Saturday.
Right.
We're with the Lieutenant Governor.
Right.
With Governor Malloy.
That's
stepped right in.
Yeah.
Wanted to take a picture with Pucky, myself, and Peter.
Yeah.
And what did he say when
Yeah, it was he was very nice. He was in the process of talking to people, and we kind of said, do you mind taking a picture with us? And he said, absolutely sure, which was great because he just jumped in, and then he puts puts an arm around you, an arm around Pucky, like it's guys getting back to a reunion, the college reunion.
Exactly.
And I take the picture, and I said, thank you for your time. There were some people yelling, "Bring back the Whalers" to him, and he turned around and he said, "Look, I'm going to get a team, no matter what they're called." Meaning like he's just not guaranteeing anything, but he can't. He doesn't own the rights to the name, but he's saying we're taking a shot at the NHL. You probably won't hear him say we're getting the Whalers back.
Correct.
Which is really the right way to go about it.
And as you can see on the screen, at the Bruins game on Saturday, they had a poll, and look, Hartford 48% over Quebec and Seattle. I think the Bruins and the Rangers want the Whalers back in the league.
Sure.
For a short stay over, and
well, it doesn't hurt them, and they kind of remember getting a lot of points out of Hartford too. So
sure.
It's good to see that because it's 50% of the vote in Boston. A team that used to drive us nuts.
Yep.
And here we are in the parade. This is Pucky. And you see Whaler, so we got Whaler Nation TV host Jerry Irwin there. You got the Booster Club in the background. They have the sign there. You can see. To the top right of your screen, it says, "If you build it, they will come." And it's got a Whaler symbol right in the middle of it.
And Pucky was so well received.
Yes.
That's when you walk down the street with your Whalers gear on, people, it's like a long lost friend. Like you said, college days. You had the governor came right over, was not apprehensive at all. There's Pucky and I running down the street to catch up.
Yeah, we were so far ahead. That Pucky was getting mobbed by so many people. Everybody wanted a picture. It was almost like Pucky equals rock star. I mean, he was like a rock star. You guys are now I got a picture of you. You're on the run. Almost like there was a security breach somewhere. We got to get Pucky to safety.
That's right.
But yeah, you got. I mean, there's a big truck behind us, so it was on the move. But that's over the Sky Bridge from City Place to the Civic Center.
And really, and it was everyone from people our age. To older people, to this fine individual who decided to jump out into the crowd.
Yeah, this guy was wearing a Whalers thing, and he just jumped in and joined us. And as you know, everyone's welcome. We just asked you to wear some green or wear a Whaler.
Be respectful to everyone. And he was.
Oh, yeah, he was. He was helping us out. He was really pumping it up.
He was cranking up the crowd.
He was for a little while. I don't know what the Spider-Man had to do with it. But,
yeah, that's right. He brought the balloon.
Well, I guess so. He didn't want to walk alone. So, but yeah, he just jumped in. You could see. He got right up front now.
Yes, he did.
We got 2 mascots. So
and there's the picture of.
That's the shot of the day.
And that's great because he really embraced the Whalers and the hockey history we have. And like you said, he's gonna try to bring a team here. He said
he's gonna take a shot. And the only thing that could have been better is if he had a little Whaler tie on.
That's right.
That might have been asking a lot.
He had the green. He's with the green.
He did, and he absolutely had no. And when we walked by him in the grandstand. Gave him a nice wave, and he had all smiles for us. And as you know, the grandstand announcer MC said, hey, do you want the NHL back? He yelled that out to the crowd. He said, there's some important people here would like to hear you. So that was a good thing.
And they did it twice, and you got quite a rousing response there.
It's because of all people like these. These are Whaler fans here.
And young people really stepped up. They wanted to be part of the Whaler Nation.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to realize. It doesn't matter who you are. That logo speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And that was the number one thing. And you had people in the crowd with their jerseys on. Like I said, you had celebrities with their Whalers jerseys on. So it was quite. This guy with his son, with his jersey on. This is great.
Yeah, they jumped.
I didn't catch his name, but they wanted to have a picture with Pucky, and it's great.
Yeah, it was amazing how many people did. It was. I mean, literally anything they could do to get a shot with them.
Exactly.
So we would like to show as many pictures as we can, but we had to cut it down to just a few. So this was, I believe, in front of the Capitol, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and this guy must have been a Whaler fan back in the day, and now he's showing his kid.
That Whaler Nation lives on.
Yeah, it's true.
And when you're going to see, and these guys, they were having a great old
time.
Down
at the end of Capitol Ave, just before Main Street, they said, "Can we jump in?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "Go crazy."
Exactly.
And that's what they did.
They really did. And, and it was great to watch how excited people were. And you hear people humming the Brass Bonanza, yelling it out.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you're going to see some videos as we go on when we finish out the show today. That really was a great time.
It's a great time.
And it's a credit to you. You did a great job filming on the run.
Yeah, literally, you'll see that. That's all unedited footage.
That's right. And as you can see, everyone had a great time.
The gentleman in the back has a Whaler jersey. They were shouting and screaming. I said, "I'm gonna take your picture," and they said, "Great." And I said, "Do you want Pucky in there?" And they were like, "Really?" I said, "Sure." So we got Pucky in there. This is just a turn from the Asylum onto Ford Street as you head onto the grandstand is just in front of us here. So
and we have to give credit to the Hartford Whalers Booster Club. They did a great job assembling the people.
Right.
Joanne Cortesa, the president, used her vehicle.
Right.
Had the Brass Bonanza.
She had the Whaler mobile this
Alan
time.
and Diane Victor were there.
They were.
We had Joe Wysocki, the vice president.
Right.
He was there carrying the flag.
Right.
The Booster Club deserves a lot of credit. And they put this whole thing together. We just marched with them because under one nation under green, we all are.
Yeah.
And the Booster Club did a nice job putting the people together.
Sure. I mean, we handed out 30 of the big bags of Tootsie Rolls. We handed out to the crowd, and they loved that. And the kids just loved. We had multicolored Tootsie Rolls. We had some green ones. We had so it was great. It's great to see that everybody was excited that
they were.
Yeah.
And it was when you look at, and especially Asylum Street, when you go down by Black Eyed Sally's and Pig's Eye Pub, they really come out. And, and they're so boisterous.
Yeah.
And the chants were "Let's go Whalers."
Right.
Bring back the Whalers.
Right.
And it's funny to watch. And again, it's everyone. It's the older folks that maybe had season tickets. And it's their kids or grandchildren that were there,
right.
And the young college kids, of course. They were all over the place.
We did before the parade started. We did a lot of walking around. Met some of the middle schools. They had some their mascot take a shot with Pucky.
Yep.
We had Pucky go over and say hello to the Wolfpack bus there.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny because it was the first run-in with sonar.
That's
and
right.
People got a kick out of that because it was a little impromptu shoot. it almost looks like we put it all together. You'll see it more towards the end of the show. But Pucky was walking by the Wolfpack bus there, and then you see Sonar going, "Hey, what's this? Pucky's around." And as we went around the corner, a guy who was with the bus pulls out a Hartford Whaler big sign, and he's like, represent the Whalers. It was great. It looked like it was planned, but it just was a great time. It's always a lot of fun. The weather was perfect, as it should be.
And there was no animosity between Whaler fans, Wolfpack fans. Everyone was there to celebrate Hartford hockey.
I didn't get the shot, but Pucky and Sonar had a big hug, and that would have been a funny shot to have.
That would have been good.
It would have been funny because they were checking on each other and they went, "Hey, big hug." But I unfortunately didn't get that on the camera. So, but yeah, it was just a great time. And you start down Capitol Ave and you get to Bushnell, and it just turns into pandemonium. I mean, we start in the front of the Capitol area, which is great because we get to meet some of the people that we see every year. There's a group of baseball players, and I never understood where they're actually. Mudville, is that where they are?
Yep.
And then there's a couple of the middle school bands. We saw Cozy, the radio personality. He's a tall guy. Yeah.
Big guy.
Yeah, he had one of those big Guinness hats, I think, or something on, and it
it made him even bigger.
Oh my gosh, he was. Yeah, he looked like.
He started at 105.9 WHCN, then he went to 106.9 CCC.
Right, that's where he was last.
And that's where he ended up.
Yeah.
And when you look at, he actually told me a great story, and that was that back when 105.9 was the Rock, they did the season ticket push.
Oh.
And they had tents set up out there. Governor Rell at the time was out there pushing it. Kevin Dineen came down.
That's right.
And this was the big push, and they ended up getting about 9,000, he said. This is what he said, 9,000 season ticket holders.
Right.
Because the governor and everyone said, hey, keep on pushing, keep on pushing. And really what it came down to was Peter Karmanos did not want to keep the team here.
No.
And it was no disrespect to our fans. Our fans are the best hockey fans around.
Yeah.
Whether you're Wolfpack, Whalers, the Whaler fans, every night I was at a Whaler game, they were loud. They'd give it to whoever we were playing.
Right.
And we were very passionate. And that's what I loved about Whaler fans.
Right.
Wherever you were, you go up to Boston to see the Bruins play, New York, the Whaler fans came out, wear their colors proudly, and it was great. And again, it happened on Saturday. We saw the Whalers fans out there. And you know what? We all have to come together and bring them back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Percosi said that. He goes, the fans were let down. And they were, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
They made the push. They made a statement. They did a great job. 9,000 season ticket holders is phenomenal.
It really was. And I believe he was asking for 11. Then at some point we went to well, can we do partials? And then people started buying partials. And I think we got very close. But it really was a miscommunication between the state and Karmanos, and Karmanos was just pretty set on leaving if he didn't get exactly what he wants.
I really don't think it was a miscommunication.
Yeah.
I think the state wanted to make a statement.
I feel like they feel like they made a mistake now, though.
Yes. But again, you hear different sides of the story, and when you get into what could have been, well, what could have been is if we had an owner who wanted to stay here.
Right.
And look at the ownership. People can hate people.